Hello everybody, evening. Just doing a little video, well this is just a little natter video really, whilst I'm washing up. So I've got nothing to show you. I'm just doing a little catch-up video whilst I'm washing up and just coming on to say Happy Easter to everybody. And it's the bank holiday weekend. Wonder what everybody else is doing. Let me know in the comments if you've got anything nice planned. If you've got anything planned with friends or family, having a nice roast dinner, going out for a nice walk anywhere, doing any activities together. Let me know. It'd be nice to hear what you are doing. I don't really do Easter. I'm not against Easter. We've not really ever been big Easter people in our family, I suppose. I mean, obviously when we were kids, like me and my brother used to get eggs and that. I mean, what kid doesn't? Yeah, I mean, I wasn't brought up in a religious household. I mean, Easter can obviously be celebrated from a Christian perspective, but also a pagan perspective as well. Just a celebration of new life. But yeah, we didn't really growing up. Just rinsing out my recycling, being good. I'll show you actually. I've just had that microwave meal. The one that I showed you in my video on Sunday, the Moroccan style chicken and couscous. It was really nice actually, but I do get bored with certain foods. I mean, I've always had a problem with food ever since I was a kid. I have a problem with food. Certain types of food, I don't know why, but it's like textures I have a problem with. And yeah, anything sort of, I love Middle Eastern food and Mediterranean food, but I think the problem is I get bored with it too quickly. And it looked lovely, and I can't say that I didn't like it, because I did, but I did just get bored of it. So my cat is running around like a lunatic. Yeah, I kind of got a bit bored of it, but I did buy some natural yogurt today. Got some natural yogurt down at Lidl. Managed to get some money off with my coupon. So I picked some of that up because yogurt always makes everything taste so much better. I'm a big yogurt fiend. So yeah, I actually put a few generous helpings of yogurt on the side, and yeah, that did the trick, and it helped me get through the meal. I was just having to like take a scoop of yogurt at the same time as a scoop of the couscous and that, because I just get bored with it, and I struggle with the texture, and I struggle to eat it, and I can end up gagging. I know that might sound really gross, but I do. Certain foods, if I eat them for too long, I end up gagging. But I've always been like that with certain food textures. I mean, like mash makes me gag. Mashed potato has to be smothered in something like gravy or baked beans, cheese. If it's plain, it will make me gag. But yeah, it was nice. I'm not really selling it, am I? No, it was nice, to be fair. It was nice. It's just me and my weirdness. Tayo, are you full of beans? So yeah, I'm coming towards the end of my last week of annual leave, my time off, and going back to work next week on Tuesday after the bank holiday. Dreaded work. I am feeling, I should have really taken my ring off whilst I'm doing the washing up. Brilliant. Yeah, I can't say I'm looking forward to it, to be honest. Especially when you've been, I mean, like, I was off, for those of you that have not seen my previous video, I was off sick for a couple of weeks, went back to work for 2 days, and then went off on annual leave for 2.5 weeks. Only because I had to take my last annual leave, otherwise I would have lost it by the end of the financial year. So it's a bit of an anomaly. It's not something I would normally do, but it does mean that I've been out of, off work with the exception of those 2 days, for quite a long time. And yeah, I've not been having a very good time at work lately anyway. So I am not looking forward to going back at all. And even just thinking about it is setting my anxiety off, because I just know that it's going to be hellish. But I'll try not to think about it too much and just enjoy my last 3 days off. It's currently Friday evening, and yeah, I've still got a few days yet. So what have I done in my last week? Well, my mum came back from her trip down south to see family, and so yeah, I was looking after her cat Nina while she was away. It feels weird not looking after her now. I get up in the morning and I think, oh, I don't have to rush over to mum's to sort Nina out, and I don't have to go in the evening. Feels kind of weird, but yeah, so she came back. She got me a lovely present, actually. She got me this, hold on, let me dry my hands and I'll show you. I just put it up on the wall yesterday. She got me this really cute, I'm only filming on my phone, so you'll have to excuse me, guys. But I don't know if you can see that. Once upon a time, there was a girl who really loved cats. It was me. The end. Love it. Absolutely love it. Oh, this is my little, these are my vintage clothes pegs, dolly pegs, and I was thinking of getting rid of them because at my old house, let me just pop you back, sorry. At my old house, I lived in this cottage, and I love antiques and vintage things, and my whole cottage was just full of it. But the problem is, because I've moved into a 60s property, a lot of the stuff that I had doesn't really go with the house. But I mean, all my furniture, most of my furniture is second hand. I would say actually all of it is second hand, pretty much. Oh, actually no, tell a lie. My armchair isn't. I had to buy an armchair brand new because I needed one of those mobility ones. And so that was brand new, but everything else is pretty much second hand and vintage. And I love antique furniture. I've made it work. I mean, a lot of my stuff still looks all right, but it's just, it doesn't really go with the era of this house. But yeah, got a lot of Victorian stuff, and nearly got rid of those pegs. And then I thought, actually, they'll look nice sitting on my little vintage tray. I think this is a bit too. Let me see if I can tilt it a little bit more where it was without it falling into the washing up bowl. If my phone falls into the washing up bowl, I shall cry. Yeah, so I've got them on my little display tray. I thought they looked quite cute. That's one of my little side quest things that I did the other day. I've done lots of those the last few days. I've been procrastinating on things that I should have been doing, like making phone calls to tradesmen, and there's stuff that I need to sort out, like my garden is a state, and I had a gardener who let me down twice. He didn't turn up. I rang him up and said, you were supposed to have been here, I waited in all day for you. And he apologised, and then I rearranged, and then he didn't turn up again. So I was like, right, well, sod you then. I'm not using you. But it's kind of, does anyone else find this with tradesmen? Trying to get a decent tradesman is so hard. They either don't show, or they muck you about, or they charge you the earth, or they try and scam you. I'm not saying that all tradesmen are like that, but a lot of them are. And it's just really difficult. And what was frustrating as well is he even came recommended by somebody, and I was thinking, well, your standards must be low because he was crap. So yeah, it's kind of put me off really, and I've got, because I can't cut my grass because of my back, and obviously during the winter it doesn't really grow much, but because it's now spring, it's starting to get really long and it just looks awful. And Yeah, so I do need to get a gardener in, and also all my fence down the left-hand side has broken. My neighbour has kindly offered to go halves with me on that, so that's good. But yeah, I've got all this stuff to do, and I've got other people that I need to ring. One of the things I really want to do this year is sort my office out, because for the last 6 months I've been working out of my armchair in the living room, which is not really good for a work-life balance. You should always have a separate, if you do work from home, you should really try and have a separate dedicated working area from, like, separate from your home life. And yeah, I'm literally living in my armchair. I spend all day working in it with my laptop on my lap, and then I sit in it all evening watching telly. So there isn't really any separation, and it's not good. But it all started because my back wasn't very good. It went in September quite badly, and when it does go bad like that, I just can't sit at my... Well, I've got one of these sit and stand desks. It's like a manual one that I can sort of crank and it goes up and down. And I try and stand a lot to help with my back. But I don't think there's anything else for me to wash up. No. Yeah, I try and use that. But I stopped using it because I couldn't work standing up. My back was too sore, so I went and worked out of my chair. And then with the separation, that room just got really, really messy. And it's now become the junk room, and it's full of crap everywhere. My desk is piled high, and the whole room, like, I literally have to tiptoe around stuff. You can't even get across the floor to open and close the blinds. I have to, like, tiptoe around everything, so I just can't move in there at the moment, which is a bit annoying. But yeah, that is my goal for the spring, is first, because this bungalow needs, well, it was very dated when I bought it, and I'm gradually doing it up bit by bit. I've had the kitchen done, I've had the shower room and the toilet done. I've had some new flooring in the hallway, a few other bits and bobs that needed doing, some electrics and stuff, but everything else is like all the cosmetic decoration basically still needs doing. I've got a few windows that need doing. And yeah, that's one of the first things I want to do this year, is get my office sorted, but it means clearing all the crap out, which I'm not looking forward to doing. And then I'm gonna get the ceiling taken down because there's asbestos on the ceiling. It's only a small percentage, but it's starting to fail, and I would just feel better knowing that it's all out. So I'm going to get that taken down. I'm going to get new ceiling put up. There's some dated wallpaper in there, so I'm gonna try and do my best to save myself a bit of money and just see how I go. And I've bought myself a steamer, so I'm going to try and take off as much of the wallpaper as I can. I'm not going to be able to do all of it, but the bit that I can do at standing height without having to bend, I'll just do what I can. The rest I'll probably have to get a handyman in to come and do. Yeah, I'm going to get it all, like, just a skim coat done. And luckily the laminate flooring in there is probably one of the most modern things in the bungalow, so that doesn't actually need replacing. I'll just make do with the laminate flooring that's in there. And so yeah, a new ceiling, a skim coat around the walls, pick a paint that I like, and then the goal is to only put back in the room what I actually want rather than all the crap. But yeah, I'm not looking forward to that. I am a bit of a hoarder. I'm terrible. Well, I say I'm terrible. I should give myself more credit. I'm a lot better than I used to be. I used to be really, really bad, and now I can let go of things a little bit more easily. But yeah, I'm trying to be a bit more minimalist in this house. I've done really well with my kitchen and shower room. Since I had those done, I've not put back into them half of what I had before, so they have remained quite, you know, modern and simple and on the minimal side, rather than just clutter everywhere. So that's the idea with the office as well, is I'm gonna only put back in what I actually want, and I'm gonna have a huge clear out, get rid of stuff, charity it or sell it, whatever. So yeah, I'm gonna do that. And I'm probably going to get a couple of my windows done this year as well, because my windows need doing. Not all of them, there's just a couple that need doing. So yeah, that's something to look forward to though. It's always nice when you get stuff done in your house, isn't it? It's always nice to get some new things done. So yeah, I should be doing that. I've gone completely sidetracked. I mean, this was only really a natter, so I haven't got anything specific in mind to talk about, to be honest. I think I was talking about what I was doing whilst I was off, wasn't I? Yeah, my mum came back. Yeah, tradesmen, that's how I got onto that topic. Yeah, I've been procrastinating and putting off talking to tradespeople and getting people in that I actually need, because I need to get a quote for the asbestos removal and I need the gardener in and all of that kind of thing, but I've just been putting off doing them, to be honest, because I've had a lot of other stuff going on and I just really haven't mentally been up to it. So you know, and whilst I've been off, I have been at least trying to make the most of it and enjoy it. So I have had a couple of days out just going for walks, and I've been taking up the swimming, or walking, I should say, walking up and down in the pool. That's been fun. Although annoyingly, the last few days that I've got off, time of the month decided to pay a visit today. So that now means that swimming is out of option for the last few days of my leave, which is a bit annoying, but there's other stuff I can do instead. What else did I do this week? Oh, I tackled my my conservatory. I can't show you, unfortunately, because I have no electric light in my conservatory. I need to get a little lamp in there or something, but at the moment I don't have anything, so it won't really sharpen camera. But my conservatory was an absolute state. I get a lot of debris falling through the little joins and cracks in the plastic roof, like seeds and debris and stuff, like over winter. And because I don't use the conservatory in winter, so yeah, it just got covered in dust and seeds that have fallen down, and I've got a few leaks in the roof. I mean, the conservatory has been there since 1990, and to be honest, it could do with taking down and redoing, but I can't afford to do that, so I'm having to just make do with the one I've got. But yeah, I tackled that this week. I done a complete clear out. I'd done all the windows, did all the window ledges, cleaned it all down, got rid of a few things, tidied it up, and it looks really nice. And then I sort of rearranged all my plants that I've got in there. I am a little bit of a plant fanatic in my house. I've got loads of plants. And so yeah, it looks really nice now. It actually looks like an inviting place that you'd want to actually spend time in. So I'm quite pleased with that, because when I go in and out of it now, it's just, you know, it gives you that nice feeling to know that it's done and like you can actually enjoy the space. Makes you feel good that you've actually done something productive. So I've done that. I did have a day out yesterday with my mum. I was trying to think what day it was then. What were we on today? Friday. Yeah. So yeah, yesterday I went out in the afternoon to Barton upon Humber, little market town, historic market town. We didn't actually look around the town because we didn't get time, because we actually didn't leave here until 3 o'clock, so it was just a flying visit. But the main reason we went is because there's apparently a country park right on the verge of the Humber estuary, near where the Humber Bridge is, and we just fancied having a walk out somewhere, and not been there before, so whacked it in the sat nav, off we go. And it was gorgeous. It's this lovely country park, and it's got wetlands. It's all like a nature reserve. It used to be, what did they say it was? It was up until the 80s, it was it was all industry. So it was like all these big factories and warehouses. They all closed in the 80s, and then what was left was just a load of toxic land that couldn't really be used. And they decided to turn it into a nature reserve. So they had to spend, I can't remember how many millions of pounds it cost now. They did say on the information board, but it was millions. They had to spend millions. And they cleared all of the toxic land, cleared it all up, made it safe, put all of these, it like reintroduced all these wetlands. There's ponds, there's marshes, and they've put all these like boardwalks in so that you can walk around all the ponds and see all the wildlife. It's really, really nice. And you've got some brilliant, they've put a viewing area in. There's a visitor centre, and that's got like a gift shop and a cafe in it, and you can sit in the cafe. And they've got a viewing area for the Humber Bridge. And it really is quite something. I mean, I've driven over it a couple of times now, but I've never actually stood and looked at it from the ground. And it's quite something to stand there and watch it. And yeah, so that was really nice. That was yesterday. I can't remember what I did in the morning, you know. All these days that I've had off have just blurred into one, really. Oh, this morning, my mum wanted to go to a fish place. Sounds so exciting. My mum wanted to go to a fish place down on Grimsby Docks because it's one of the oldest smokehouses. They actually have a shop where they sell the fish as well, and they actually do tours of the smokehouse, but that's not what we were going for. We just wanted to have a look around the shop, really. Mum's wanted to get some fish, so we went down there, but we actually never arrived because, funnily enough, I put the address in the sat nav, and it took us round all the old back streets near the docks, and it's a bit of a dive round there, really, because for any of you that don't know Grimsby, Grimsby used to be the hub of the fishing industry, and since the 70s it's declined massively. I think there's only 4 vessels that are still fishing, and there used to be about 400, I think, which is a real shame. But because of that decline in the industry, it's really affected the area, and it's kind of gone downhill quite a bit. So the docks area does look quite run down, which is a shame. But as we were going on the way to this place, we went past about 3 other fish wholesalers, and we decided to stop off at those. And so we didn't actually go to the one we intended to in the end, because they're all kind of the same thing anyway. But the variety that they had was amazing, and it was just really nice. It felt really old-fashioned, you know, to go into a proper fishmonger's at the docks. I mean, I've never done that before. It felt like stepping back in time almost, and the variety was amazing. And they'd cooked up some fresh haddock, and they'd breaded it, so it's like breadcrumb haddock, and they'd put it into little trial size portions, still hot, ready to eat. And yeah, they were just sort of leaving these samples out for people to try. So of course my mum was diving in there having it. I didn't want any because it was too early for me. But yeah, it was just really nice to see that is still going. And Mum picked up some bargains, and she also picked up a seafood platter mix. So it was like this box, and it had cockles in it. Was it cockles, or which are the ones that I like? It's the cockles. I think it's cockles that I like. I get muddled up with all the little ones. But yeah, it had crab meat, it had mussels, all different types of like prawns, small prawns, and also the king prawns with the shell and the googly eyes still on, which I couldn't deal with. I said, Mum, you can have them ones, because I can't be doing with breaking the heads off and dealing with all the legs and the eyes. But yeah, we ended up taking that back home, back home to my mum's, and we had that for lunch. She cooked up some pasta, we had that with some salad and the seafood, so that was really nice. And then this afternoon we went out for a walk on the beach. Oh, my dad's just sent me a photo. Oh, I'll look at that later. Yeah, we went for a walk on the beach this afternoon. We got absolutely drenched because it's been really, really weird weather today. It's been really windy, but it was 15 degrees, so it was quite mild today, and the sun was really strong, but there was this downpour that just came out of nowhere, and I was only wearing like my padded gilet, so my arms just had like I was wearing like a thin velvet hoodie today. It's only very thin, it's like a spring one, and I got absolutely drenched. My leggings were drenched, my boots, everything I was just drenched through. Luckily, it didn't last long, and then the sun came back out again. So even though I was really, really wet, I didn't feel the cold too badly because of the sun. But then this gorgeous rainbow came out, and it was over the water. So as we were walking along the beach, and it ended up being a double, there was like a fainter one on the outside of the main rainbow, and it was just absolutely stunning. I managed to take a few pictures of it. So yeah, we ended up just having a nice little walk this afternoon, and then I came back home. Absolutely knackered I am, because again, with Mother Nature visiting at the moment, it always knocks me for six, and I just decided this afternoon, because I was still really, really damp when I got home. Sorry, I need to stand up. I can't keep leaning down like that for too long with my back. Yeah, I was just really, really knackered, and my stomach was hurting me bad, so I decided to have a hot chocolate and treat myself to a hot chocolate. So yeah, I had hot chocolate, and I was a bit naughty and had some of those Jammy Dodger biscuits with it, and I watched just a crime drama. I'm really into, honestly, it's really sad. I was scrolling through the other week trying to find something new to watch, because I was a bit bored with the same old stuff that I've been watching, and I thought I'd try and get into something new. And I've come across this crime, because I do quite like crime dramas, although I don't really do very well with gore, so it depends on how gory something is, but it's sort of the investigation part of crime dramas that I like, but I don't like the gore. So I have to sort of be careful, because some things I just can't watch. But I came across this one called Vera, and it is actually really, really good, and I didn't realise it obviously must have been running for a really long time, because they're already on season 13, and I'm thinking, where has this been? Where has this been in my life? It's like, never heard of it. It's obviously been running for some years for them to be on series 13 already. So yeah, I've started to watch that, and I'm on series 3 already. But yeah, if anybody likes crime dramas, and the other good thing about it is it's actually not too, there's enough that I can handle. It's not overly gory. So I stuck an episode of that on, had a hot chocolate, chilled out, put my heat pad on for my back and my stomach, and that was really nice. Just had a relax this afternoon. Let my cat out again. As you know, my cat Teo, who's an indoor cat, I've recently been letting her out supervising the garden, and I've been letting her go out almost every day this week, and she's been loving it. Yesterday I caught her up on top of the neighbour's summer house. She was on the roof, and I was thinking, there's no point panicking about it, because there's absolutely nothing I can do about it. I just got to let her go and just let her get on with it. But she was back within a couple of minutes. She came shooting over the fence and came running into the house, and her tail was all really big like a bottle brush, so I reckon she must have caught sight of neighbour's cat and just come flying back home. But that's a good sign, because the fact that she ran home when she was scared, like that was her go-to thing, she just knew, right, I must get home. That's a good sign, because it tells me that she knows where home is, and if she does come across anything dangerous, she's just going to run home. So I'm still a bit dubious about leaving her out unsupervised for long. Like, I wouldn't let her out at night time, because we get a lot of foxes around here, and she's really tiny. She is quite a petite little cat, and I have read the statistics on cat and fox fights and cat deaths and stuff. They are relatively low. It's quite uncommon for foxes to actually kill cats, but it's not unheard of. It's usually if a fox gets desperate enough, if perhaps the fox themselves is either getting old or they're a little bit sick and they're looking for easy pickings, and they come across a cat that is perhaps elderly, you know, or small, and they think that they can take it on, and they're desperate enough, they will. Having said that, my cat Tilly, I mean, she's, as you've probably seen in previous videos, she's a big girl. She is very big for a female cat. I've seen, and she is streetwise, because she was a stray that I took on, and that's why she has always been allowed to go out, because I would never keep her cooped up deliberately, because she's always been quite an outdoorsy cat. And although since moving here, she's actually become a lot more of a home bird, and she doesn't really, I have to force her out some days. I've actually taken, because she's on a diet, I've actually taken to picking her up, walking with her all the way to the top of my road, putting her down and forcing her to run back home with me, because I'm trying to get her to lose weight and she just won't go out. So yeah, that's been a bit of a challenge. I put her out this morning and she hissed at me. That's what I get for feeding her and giving her a roof over her head, honestly. She just gives me grief. You know, the only time she shows affection for me is in the first thing in the morning. She'll jump up on the bed and she'll be all over me and she's purring and she's like rubbing her head on me and being all lovely. And it's like, yeah, it's only because you want your breakfast. As soon as she's had her breakfast, she sods off and don't hear a peep out of her all day. And she doesn't, that's the only time she wants affection. But yeah, I just cannot get her to go out. So I'm having to force her. But yeah, Teo's really enjoying herself. She's really enjoying going out, which is nice. It's just nice to see her explore for the first time and watch her like check things out, and sometimes she gets a bit scared, and then she checked out the greenhouse the other day. That was amusing. So yeah, I think that's pretty much it, all I've done this week. I did go swimming again. I had a late night swim. Well, walked up and down anyway. That was quite nice. I got to use the disability room. Is that the right word? Cubicle? Changing room? Yeah, disability changing room. Because it was a late night swim and it closes at 9 o'clock. You have to stop swimming at 9. And I went in the changing rooms, and the changing rooms are unisex. Obviously the individual cubicles are lockable, but like the whole changing room area where all the lockers are to put all your stuff in, there's like, it's all unisex, which is fine, doesn't bother me. But I do try and go for this one particular cubicle because it's got grab bars inside. There's a bench obviously for sitting on inside, and then there's these grab bars, and I just find it easier to use that cubicle. But it's the only one that I've been able to find that's got grab bars inside. The rest of them don't. And it was right at the end where they'd already started cleaning, and all the staff had already started cleaning down. They'd already poured all cleaning liquid all over the floor. Luckily, I was walking around in my flip-flops because I don't go barefoot in public pools. And all this cleaning stuff was down, and they were using those like squeegee mop things, and they were already like vigorously brushing all the floor and working it all towards the drains. And the guy goes to me, oh, can you use the changing rooms down the other end, please? And I said, but I need to use that specific cubicle. I said, because it's got grab bars in and your other ones don't. And he said to me, oh yeah, there's some like that down the other end on the left. So I went down there and I looked, and there weren't any. And I said to him, I'm sorry to be a pain. I had to go, by this point, I'm literally shivering. And I was like, I was one of the last people there as well. And I said, I'm really sorry to be a pain, but I cannot find any that have got grab bars in. I said, I do have a disability and I need the bars for support to get dry and get dressed, because it's just really awkward without them. And he said, oh, well, I can open up the disability changing room for you if you want. So he said, I need to go get the key. So off he goes. I was thinking, then I felt awful because, you know, I don't like making a fuss, but off he goes and gets his bloody key, comes back, opens up this this changing room. I've got the whole thing to myself, and it's massive. And I went in there and they got all manner of equipment that you could possibly think of, which was amazing. And it was, I mean, I only needed a grab bar. That's all I needed. I didn't need anything else, but I appreciated obviously them letting me use it. And I was quite impressed with the equipment, to be honest, because it's really, really nice just from an inclusivity point of view to see that they have catered for people of all mobility levels. There was a lot of specialist equipment in there, and it even enables, from what I could see, it even enables people that maybe wheelchair bound to be able to, they had this this plastic chair with a harness and wheels, and I think it's designed for you to then actually take them down to the pool. And actually, because my local pool is one of those ones where you can walk into it, because the shallow end graduates into the deeper end. So it's not like two separate pools, because I've been some places where you have a little pool and a deep pool. This is just one, and it starts off really shallow to the point where it's almost imitates the shoreline. So you can literally just walk in. And I think it's designed so that you can actually just wheel somebody into the water, which is fantastic because it means everybody can, you know, enjoy it. But yeah, I did feel a bit, I almost felt like, I'll tell you one thing I've found since my back problem has gotten progressively worse over the last few years. I've had to learn to come to terms with obviously having this disability and accepting that there are things that I can't do that I used to be able to do. And it's been quite hard, but I am a lot more accepting of it now. But I still have this guilt complex. Like, I almost feel like I'm not deserving of, not special treatment, but just, do you know what I mean? You sort of just, because you kind of, I always feel guilty, I suppose, just, and I don't like making a fuss. So yeah, it just feels weird to, it's like, I would be entitled to get a blue badge if I really wanted, but I've never bothered applying for it. I've got all my, you know, my paperwork from the consultant and everything, to use as proof. And to be honest, there are times where it would be really handy. But the problem is with my disability, because it's intermittent, there are days where obviously I'm okay, and then there's some periods, I mean, I can go through phases with my back where I'm out for weeks. Touch wood, that doesn't happen at the moment. But it can just go really bad, and then I'm out for weeks. And I'm having to use my stick, and, you know, I'm struggling with even day-to-day tasks like getting myself dressed. So it's all quite difficult, but then there are periods where I'm fine. And this is one of the problems with having a hidden disability, is sometimes people judge you because they're thinking, well, what the hell have you got that stick for, you know, especially when they see someone my sort of age. And I keep thinking to myself, like, I've seen these videos of people who have got genuine disabilities where these entitled Karens are going, like, filming and going up to people in their cars, adamant that this person shouldn't be in a disabled bay. And they're like, well, you know, where's your disability badge? And the person's like, in the window, you can see it. It's on the dashboard. And even though they've got one, these entitled Karens, they still don't believe. They're like, well, you must have stolen that from somebody. It's like, no, it's my disability badge. And they just get a load of grief. And people are just so, I wish people would just mind their own bloody business. It's like, what right do you have to go around, you know, calling out other people and forcing them to kind of justify themselves and sort of prove that they're entitled to having a badge. I mean, I know that there are people who abuse the system. Of course there are. There's always going to be people that abuse the system. But, like, what right do you have? That's for the authorities to worry about. Like, you've got no right to just go up to someone and just question whether they've got a right to park somewhere. Because a lot of disabilities are hidden. It just really irritates me when people don't think about that. But yeah, basically, I've not bothered to get one because I just think, do you know what? One, I can't be doing with the hassle. Two, I feel too guilty because I think, well, some of the time I don't need it. Some of the time I do. It would be very, very handy if, when my back is really bad, I could park as close to the supermarket as possible, because there are times where food, even just doing a food shop, is difficult for me. And I don't want to walk all that way to my car when I've got extra weight to carry and everything. So that would be really handy. But for the majority of the time, I would just feel guilty even having a disability badge. So I haven't bothered applying. But yeah, it just amazes me, the entitlement of people these days. I don't really know what else to say, really. It was just a bit of another catch up, a little natter at the end of my week, my last week that I've got off, and to let you know what I've been up to. I said I might obviously do a few things with my mum, and yeah, we've been out and had some nice walks. Tomorrow, what are we doing tomorrow? Oh, I'm getting up early tomorrow. I'm going on a woodland walk at 8 in the morning, so I'm gonna have to get there before then. It starts at 8. It's a woodland walk with this guy who is obviously a bird fanatic, and he knows all the different types. I mean, I know a few, but I'm no expert by any stretch of the imagination, and I'm really looking forward to that. So yeah, we're just joining this group. It's kind of a, you don't have to book it or anything, you just turn up and hope that there's not so many of you that, you can't hear him when he's giving you a talk about all the different birds, but he's going to take you on a tour around the woods, and hopefully if we see things he'll point them out and tell us what they are. So that'll be really nice, and I just hope I get there on time, because I'm not the best at keeping on time with things. But yeah, I am looking forward to that. And then Sunday, I don't know yet, he's supposed to be letting me know. That might be what my dad was trying to get hold of me for earlier, actually. My dad might be coming up with his wife to see me, but I don't know yet, because it depends on whether she can get the time off work. If she can't, then maybe my dad will come up anyway on his own, which would be nice, and weather permitting, hopefully take him out somewhere and have a nice walk somewhere, or go to the beach. And then Monday is it's my last day off, but really I just need that time at home just to sort of get my head in the right space for going back to work. But also my new SIM arrived for my work phone, because my company changed their phone contract. Sorry, I'm really tired. I'm starting to struggle with keeping up with conversations. I'm going to wrap this up soon, but yeah, they changed their phone contract, and so we've all had to have new SIMs. And unfortunately, mine was switching over whilst I was off. So I contacted them, and they said, "What's the nearest office that you can pick it up from?" And I was like, my office is 2.5 hours away from where I live. Any chance you could post it to me? I said, also because I'm going on annual leave, and then I'm going to come back to work on my first day, and I won't be able to use my work phone. I said it's imperative that I can use my phone. So they sent it to my home address, luckily. So I've got that to sort out, and I'm not very techie at all, so hence the quality of my videos. But yeah, I don't really know what I'm doing, but I'm going to have to work it out, because there's no one else to do it, so I shall just have to work that out on Monday. But I want to do it before work, because I don't want to do it on the day of work, because then obviously if I need to make a call I'm a bit stumped. So that's what I'm doing Monday. I'm sorting out my work phone, and obviously it'll be dead by now as well, so I'm going to get it charged up, and then I've got loads of paperwork to sort out. I want to make sure that everything is just ready for work, so that at least on my first day back I'm as organised as I can be, to try and make it as least stressful as possible, because I know it's going to be a stressful day going back, and I'm going to have loads to catch up on, and some difficult conversations to have as well. So I don't know how that's going to go, but that's all I'm doing really. I'm doing the woodland walk tomorrow, probably see my dad on Sunday, and then be back to normal life. So I'm going to leave it there. I just thought I would have a little catch up and let you know what I've been up to this week. As I say, I've tried to be productive with doing some tidying up, sorting around the house, sorted my conservatory, done a spring clean. I've gotten myself out and about, so that's good. There's something else niggling at me that I wanted to tell you, and I can't remember what it is now. You know what'll happen? It'll come to me the minute I stop filming, and I was like, oh, I know what it is. I showed you my new I planted some new plants outside. What else did I do? I can't think. I'm going to leave it there because I'm rambling. So yeah, if I think of it, I'll have to tell you in my next video, won't I? So yeah, I'm going to leave it there. I am going to, what time is it? It's 9:30, and I'm getting really, really tired, and I do have to be up early for this mooch in the woods, so I'm gonna probably go and just watch a quick episode of something with a nice hot chocolate, I think, and leave it there. I'll try and do some more content soon. So I see that basket in the background. I think I mentioned, yes, I did mention it in the last video, because it was that cat blanket that I bought for my cat. I haven't got around to putting it in there yet, but that's basically where she's been sleeping, on top of my fridge freezer. She loves it. Oh, that was one of the other things. The Snoopy, the t-shirt that I got last week that I showed you in my Asda haul, that was fine. I've worn my new Snoopy t-shirt. I've worn my new, whatever the other t-shirt was, the Sunflowers one. But I also bought a Snoopy jumper with Paris written on it. It was too big. But actually, it wasn't. It was one of those, it was a bad cut, that's what it was. It was a bad cut because it was a medium, which was a 12 to 14. It fit me all fine here. Nice, a bit like this, oversized, which is what I like. This is my, this is my lounge jumper that I just kind of use as a pajama top, really. When I got back from the walk and I was drenched today, I just put my jogging bottoms and this on just for lounging around in. But yeah, it was oversized like this. And it fit fine down the bottom half. Hid all my sins. But the sleeves on it, I'm not joking, I measured where the cuff came to. Where it ended, like if I put my arm out completely straight like this, I had about an extra, that much of material that extended past my fingers that were straight. We're talking this much extra on the end of that. So of course you can imagine what that looked like bunched up. It just looks stupid. I tried doing that thing where like you roll the cuff over. Excuse me. I tried to roll the cuff over. It just looked awful. And I was really annoyed because the rest of it was actually fine. But I don't know why they do this. It is just due to bad design, bad cut. But they think that if you're going up a size that way, that suddenly you've grown that way. And it's not necessarily the case. It's like, because I'm quite petite. I'm 5'2", so I'm not the tallest girl in the world. I'm 5'2", and I've gone out that way. So as I've put weight on, I've needed to go bigger. But the problem is, they then think that that means your arms have suddenly grown. So now I'm finding that I buy things and they're too long in the arm and they're too long in the length. I mean, the length I don't mind so much because I prefer having longer jumpers and t-shirts. I hate short t-shirts. And I don't like cropped either because I'm past the age of doing cropped stuff and I don't have the stomach for it. So I'm not doing cropped stuff. But I like all my things to have a nice long length to them. So it kind of helps my body look a bit slimmer. And yeah, I was just really gutted because I really did like that jumper, but I did try it on a couple of times throughout the day. I kept the tags on and I thought I'll come back to it, try it on again and see if I change my mind. And I looked in the mirror and I was like, no, this is not happening. So that went back today, swung by Asda and returned that, which is a shame. But to be honest, there's no point, if you only like something half-heartedly, there's no point, especially if you have bought it brand new and because it wasn't the cheapest. I mean, it wasn't a really expensive jumper, but it wasn't the cheapest in the world either. And particularly as I'm so used to buying second hand, I'm not used to splurging out £15 on one item. For me, that's quite a lot of money. So that money I can now put towards, because I do need a new pair of boots. I need winter boots. Although we're getting into spring now, but I'm going to need them for next winter because I don't think I'm going to get another year out of my winter boots. They really are on their last legs. The soles are almost through. Sorry, I've got hair. It's probably a cat hair or a bit of fluff or something. Yeah, they've almost gone through completely at the soles. And I've had them 6 years, so they have done me really, really well. They're these sort of fake fur, brown, tan colour winter style boots. You know, like the UGG style, but they're not UGGs. I don't do Uggs for a variety of reasons, but I don't like them as a company generally. The only way I would wear a pair of Uggs is if they were secondhand. I wouldn't give my money to that company, but that's just my personal choice. But yeah, this was a pair that I had, just a cheapie pair, synthetic. They're not even real wool or anything. But yeah, I've managed to get 6 years. I think they cost me £25 brand new, and I've managed to get 6 years out of them, so they've done really well. But yeah, I really do need to get a new pair now because they are almost through at the sole, and they're looking awful. But they're now my muckabout pair, so I don't care about them anymore. I wear them to the beach. They get, you know, they've got salt lines on the suede from from the beach, but I don't care. I wore them today actually, and we tried to go to this other section of the beach, but go through all the sort of the sand dunes and the marshland bit to get to it, and it was really boggy. And because the soles have almost gone, I've got no grip on them whatsoever, like whatsoever. My mum was wearing proper walking boots, and there's me wearing these like old boots. I kept slipping. I'm so glad I didn't fall on my arse, because that would have not done my back any good at all. But luckily I didn't. But yeah, I must have looked a right sight trying to go through these muddy flats, slipping and sliding all over the place. So, but yeah, I'm going to probably put the money that I saved by returning that jumper, I'm going to put that towards a new pair of boots that I can use for next year. I'm on the hunt for some second-hand ones. Try and maybe get some I want to go for real wool ones this time, because wool is so much healthier for your feet. They actually keep you warm in winter and cool in summer. They're temperature regulating. Wool is a natural temperature regulating material, but also obviously because it's a natural material, it allows your feet to breathe. So you don't end up with these horrible stinking shoes that synthetic shoes tend to give you. And it's obviously more environmentally friendly as well, because when they do come to the end of their life, at least you know that the wool is going to break down. So there's less of, I mean, like my slippers, I'll show you if I can slide one off. My slippers, excuse them because they are getting a bit old now. They've actually worn through completely there. There's no wool left there now. These are actually real wool on the inside, and then the outside is felt. And the bottom is felt as well. But as you can see, they're wearing completely through there. And all the little silicone dots that are supposed to be for grip, they've all worn down so much now that they don't really give me any grip anymore. So I go sliding about the house. But yeah, I mean, I've had these for nearly a year. And they've done all right, to be honest. But I do find that they just are so much better than synthetic ones. And I can wear these all year round, and my feet don't get too hot even in the summer. So I would recommend wool over synthetic if you can afford it. It is obviously more pricey, but this is where getting second-hand stuff comes in handy, because if I can get a wool pair of winter boots, like with real wool lining, but get them second-hand and get them at some bargain price of, I don't know, 20 quid, 30 quid, rather than 150 or whatever they'll be. So I'm gonna I'll keep my little eyes peeled to see if I can get myself a bargain. So yeah, anyway, I really am gonna go now because I'm proper waffling, so I'm gonna go and watch some telly. I'll stick my ring back on, my nice new ring. I always take it off for the washing up because I don't want the stones to fall out. I got I say new ring, it's not actually new, it was my nan's ring, but recently acquired through the family. So yeah, got that next to my other nan's ring. Most of my stuff is either inherited or second hand, to be honest. This ring, this is my, if I can actually get it off. This one I got off of Etsy. It's a sterling silver. It's one of these twist rings, which is good because you can adjust it yourself. I don't think that's going to focus very well, but you can adjust it yourself because you can just sort of squeeze it to fit. But yeah, sterling silver. and it's like that hammered. I don't think it's going to show up on the camera at all. No, it's not going to, but it's a hammered effect. So it's literally been handmade and they've hammered the pattern in. And then on the inside, I don't know if that's going to show, but there is some writing on the inside and it says Hiraeth. And Hiraeth is Welsh. It's from Wales, the lady that makes these. She's got her own little boutique company, small batches. She makes them in Wales, and I ordered it on Etsy. And you can pick what word you want on the inside. She did Hiraeth. She also did Cariad. A couple of others I can't remember now. But yeah, I absolutely love that ring. But yeah, Hiraeth is a word for... There's no direct translation for it into English, but the closest thing to it is it's kind of missing or the longing for a home that never was, basically. So it's, yeah, you can't really translate that into English. There isn't an equivalent word. But it's the longing for home if you're homesick, but it doesn't necessarily have to be a home you've physically lived in. It could be a feeling. It could be missing a particular, like a feeling of home, or it could be the longing for a place that you've never been, but you feel a connection to. So that's what Hiraeth means. And Welsh people, I mean, I'm not Welsh like born, but I've got Welsh ancestry. But a lot of Welsh people that I've heard, like, read comments of, and they've moved away from Wales, and they've said that even though they've lived away from Wales for like God knows how many decades, they still have that feeling of Hiraeth, which is they just miss home. And I got it because I feel a connection to Wales and my Welsh ancestry, even though I wasn't born there. And so yeah, that's ended up being quite an important ring for me. I'm actually learning Welsh at the moment. I was originally moving to Wales instead of moving to where I am now, but plans changed and it fell through. I was this close to exchanging on a house as well. I was so close to moving to North Wales, and yeah, our plans changed at the last minute, so I ended up staying in England. But I spent 6 months intensively learning the language, and then I ended up not needing it, but I've carried on learning it because I think, you know, it's a lot of effort to go through to then not carry on learning it. So I actually try and do a couple of lessons a day, at least one, if not two lessons a day. They're only quick 10-minute lessons on this course that I do, but yeah, it just helps keep it topped up and stop me forgetting it. And you never know when it might come in handy if I go on a holiday to Wales or something. I've also got a goddaughter that lives there, and a cousin as well, although she's down south. My goddaughter's north and my cousin is South Wales. But yeah, you never know when it might come in handy. But I just love the language. I think it sounds so beautiful. It looks really complicated. If you look at written Welsh, you think, how on earth are you supposed to pronounce that? But once you get your head around the pronunciation, because they have a different alphabet to us, so you have to kind of learn. I mean, it's not completely different, but you have to learn their alphabet. But once you get your head around it, suddenly you can read these words. Whereas before, you would look at these words written down and it literally looks like gobbledygook to you. But once you understand how to pronounce certain letters, or certain letters joined together, suddenly you look at the words and the language becomes clear. I can't really explain it any other way, but it's just, I really like it anyway. So anyway, I'm definitely going now. I just enjoy talking to you guys. It's nice. It's nice having a little natter. So, but yeah, I am going to leave it there. Let me know what you are doing or have done for your Easter holidays so far, or plans that you're going to be doing over the coming weekends. And I wish you a very happy Easter. Have a lovely bank holiday weekend, everybody, and I shall catch up with you again soon, no doubt. Take care. Bye.